Hey kids, welcome back. It's day 2 in week 4. Distance learning. Guess what? You're a famous YouTuber, but Mr. Ermer has no clue who you are. Tell him what he needs to know. What content do you make? Subscribers? How many? How'd you get famous? Right? At least 2 to 3 thoughtful sentences. You probably need more for this one. Explaining to dumb Mr. Ermer why you're famous. See you later. All right. That was kind of rude of Rex, but thanks for the reflection question. It's beautiful outside. Let me give it a weather check. Let me get an accurate temperature reading. It is currently 62 degrees out. I think that deserves a little honk. Been going for pretty regular walks. I live in Minneapolis, so we have Lake Benamacoska and Harriet. Around Lake Harriet, they have a bunch of really interesting ducks out there. Speaking of ducks, they have some mergansers and grebes. Look them up, Google them. Mergansers and grebes. You don't see them all the time. I also saw a wood duck out there, a wood duck pair. The males have the colorful heads, and so check them out. Really cool. Get outside. All right, we've got 9 agenda items today. 1, talking about the weekly plan link. 2, talking about the videos and watching them. I'll talk about that a bit. Agenda item 3, keeping active, staying healthy at this time of social distancing. Item number 4 is the mystery box. Talk a little bit about how that's going to continue. I had a lot of fun with that. Agenda item 5 is talking about looking at a couple of your favorite sayings. That was a Rex reflection question from last week, and I'm going to share a couple of those as we continue throughout our videos. So a couple of your 7th graders had some great ones. Agenda item 6 are assignment due date markings. I've changed how I'm doing that. I had some confusion from students and families, so talk about how I'm doing that. 7, I've got a fun pancake story. 8, agenda item 8, our show and tells for the day. And then 9, talking about today's vocabulary assignment. And actually, we're going to be working with vocabulary for the next 2.5 weeks. So just preparing you mentally about how to approach vocabulary, give you some tips and suggestions about what I would do as well as what we're actually giving you. All right. Agenda item number 1, our weekly plan. Please, please, please. Every day you go into our distance folder, you'll see I have it laid out. Each week has its own folder. You must have noticed that by now if you're doing your work. At the top of each folder, there's a link that gives you a layout, kind of a broad picture, a 5-day week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, what you can expect to accomplish and what's going to happen. The routine, it lays out the routine. And in the class activity section, it gives you directions about step by step what you need to accomplish. And I could tell that based on how many people didn't call me, or I don't think you're reading that. So I did give directions to call me. I think about 10 of you, about a little less than 10% of you actually did call me. So good job to those that did reach out to me. I appreciate you. But several of you didn't call me. I said in the weekly plan this week for day 1, Monday, Tuesday, at some point I wanted you to reach out and call me. So I didn't get those phone calls. I did speak with a few of you though. So thank you to those that did call. So again, agenda item 1, there's a weekly plan. You need to open it up. You need to be aware of, I wouldn't put that resource that just for you to ignore. So I do put all of these resources in there for you to use. So make sure you're opening them all up so that you can be as successful as you need to be. Agenda item 2, watch the entire video. I had several of you messaging me back. I didn't see Rex at the beginning of the video. Well, per one of my 6th grader suggestions, he told me, why don't you put the Rex reflection video in the middle? And that way you'll be able to tell who's watching the videos or not. And I was like, oh yeah, that's sneaky. But I liked it. I did it. And I had at least 10 of you like, oh, there's no Rex reflection. Well, there was a Rex reflection question, just make sure you're watching the entire video. These videos are not just for me to hear myself talk and for me to get famous on YouTube. I need you. I give out regular, I have an agenda. I talk about things that are relevant to the class. I acknowledge student work. So it is important. Yes, it's 25 minutes, but I am making a connection with you. I'm sharing student ideas that have been put out there. I need you to hear these things. And I am giving you instruction about the day's activities as well. So please make sure you watch it, the whole thing through. Andrew McDonald. He was adamant it didn't happen, but I asked him if I could call him out. He said, yeah, that's fine. He's good natured. But make sure you watch the entire video. Agenda item 3, keep active, keep healthy. I'm wearing my running shorts after I get done filming today. I'm going out for a run. It's beautiful out. Keep your social distancing. I know around Lake of the Isles, which is another one of the lakes in Minneapolis, they've closed down some of the roads, so I can run all over the place, and I will stay really far away from people. It's kind of a game for me while I run. Like, oh no, a person, oh, I'm going to get the heck away from them. So it's get out there, social distance, but be healthy. Yeah, it's good for your mental health to get your body moving. And so that's how I'm maintaining my mental health, is through my physical health too. All right, number 4, the mystery box. I have call out to Maddie F, Silas, Lexi, Cameron P, Lauren S, Noah B, Grace T, Elias, Tyler, and Ethan C. Great job with calling in to get the mystery box and checking out what's in here. I thought it was a fun one. Day 2's mystery box. Days 1's, you can't see what was in day 1. If you didn't call in, you lost your opportunity. But I have a new item in the mystery box for day 2. It's a good one, especially if you're a sports person. If you're into sports, that's a huge one. Hint, hint. You better call. Yeah, call it. I got a cool one from my childhood. Relevant. Very cool one if you're into sports, especially with what's been dropped on Netflix recently. Cool. Anyway, happy birthday to Noah B of the 6th grade, 12th. He just turned 12. I'm giving some shout outs to 6th and 7th graders because you might know 6th graders as well. Maybe he's a neighbor. Who else's birthday? I just talked to somebody else. Dang it. I wrote that down and I forgot it. Somebody else's birthday. Who was it? I don't remember. Oh well. All right. Agenda item number 5. Well, going back to the mystery box. If you want to see what's in the mystery box, message me in Schoology. Give me a phone call. Send me an email. I will send you a link to a Google Meets. It's been working really well. I'll show you what's in the box. And we don't need to have any further conversation. I just wanted an opportunity for you to reach out to me, and it's fun for me as well. All right, agenda item number 5. Favorite sayings. I've got 2 for you from the 7th grade. Grace, chin up, buttercup. I like it. It's this idea of, hey, keep your head up, keep your chin up. Even though we got hard times, keep looking up. Keep your head up, hold your head up high. I like that. Chin up, buttercup. Reminds me of a saying, buck up, buckaroo. All right, good one, Grace. Thank you. And then from Kelsey, don't let the world change your smile. Let your smile change the world. I thought that was beautiful. So, thank you, ladies, for your wonderful sayings. I'll keep looking through our Rex Reflections to share some of our ideas and hear out student voice every day. So great job, Kelsey and Grace. All right, agenda item 6, assignment due date markings. I had a parent try to ask me, hey, so I think we've had some confusion about when things are due. Yes, the due dates are marked by the Schoology assignments, but to even add further clarity, right in the assignment titles, I'm putting the due dates, just so everyone's clear on that. So hopefully that'll be something that's more helpful for students and families for due dates. So everything that is due will have a due date right in the title of the assignment or document. And so moving from now on, that'll be how due dates are marked. All right, a funny pancake story. I went to Lund's to I get more pancake. That's my litmus test of when do I need to go to the store. It's when I need pancake mix. I let everything else deplete, but I need pancakes. And I was looking. The past couple days, I haven't been able to find it. I went into a Target, they didn't have it. They went into Lund's, they didn't have it. And it was the second place I had looked for pancake mix, and I was just staring at the empty shelf space without the pancake brand I like. Oh, this is it. Here it is. Gluten-free King Arthur flour pancake mix. And my girlfriend is gluten-free. She doesn't eat gluten or soy as her part of her diet. I had this stuff over at her place one night, and it was amazing. Breakfast for dinner. And so that's my favorite brand right now. And I'm just staring. You can imagine me. I'm just staring. I mean, there's only like six brands, and there's one spot that's empty, and all the other brands are there, and I want this brand, right? And I'm just staring at this empty space, and I've already been to other places, and I'm just staring, and this man shelving on, wearing a mask and gloves, and just shelving, uh, shelving some space down the way. He's like, "Hey, what's wrong, man? You missing something?" And I'm like, "Yeah, they don't have my darn pancake mix." And he's like, "Oh." That's too bad. My roommate, he's been having a hard time through all this. He's telling me his story about his roommate. I just try to tell him to keep his chin up and just focus on making one meal a week. I'll make a couple meals a week too, and just try to do one thing. And apparently his roommate doesn't like cooking, and he's just telling me all this story about uh, um, about his roommates kind of being down, and he could tell just by my facial, how disgusted I was that the pancake mix wasn't there. And he inches in, and how people are with like, "Hey man," and he touched my arm, and I was like, "Pandemic, man, don't you know not to touch?" And he's wearing gloves and he's got a face mask, but I thought it was kind of funny how he was so compelled by my look of disgust and sadness that I didn't have my pancake mix, and everyone's trying to reach out and just wants that human connection right now. And I thought it was I didn't mind. I went into my car and rubbed myself with the wet ones I have with 99% nine alcohol, and just thought it was a funny human connection story, how we're all just starving for that human connection and wanted to reach out. And he just started opening up on this about his own roommate, and just everyone needing to keep your chin up, Buttercup. Grace, thanks. We'll get through it. And I was having a down moment because I didn't have pancake mix. Um, I thought that was a funny story to share. And now I'm rambling to myself, and I have no idea whether you think this is funny or not. Agenda item number 8. Show and tell. All right, we've got our show and tells. Here we go. All right. First one. Um, First of all, a shout out to those who shared content. Ayub, Mrs. Trample, Mrs. Estall, Callista, James, Andrew B., and Kelsey. I don't remember who shared this. I think this beautiful sunset was James. Cool job. Keep sharing. Please share your content. It's great. We appreciate it. This is Andrews. He's out there on a mountain bike. Cool. I'm into mountain biking too. I like single track racing. The trails really aren't open yet, so I'll just post some pictures of me and my mountain bike once the trails get open. Heads up, uh, Power Park Woodbury Eastridge has a mountain bike team. You can join up. So sign up as an eighth grader. You can do that. So Andrew, get out on that mountain bike team. Once I'll give you information. All right, Callista's household. Woo woo, cool. Ayub, yes, playing basketball in the backyard. It looks like I love it. I love b-ball. And then we got Kelsey's. It looks like I'm guessing a little brother. Cool, cool. All right, Mrs. Trample, looks like you're doing some yard work and cleaning up the yard, and then maybe even burning up some wood. I love fires. I love bonfires. Cool. Oh, what a cool designs in the deer. I really like that. I didn't notice that before. Nice fire pit. Mrs. Estall, what a pretty kitty. Pretty kitty. I love it. Sorry, I'm just realizing sometimes how stupid I probably sound. I was on a Google Meets with my advisory. I'm filming this on Wednesday. It's 63 degrees out now, and I'm filming this on Wednesday. And as you know, advisory teachers are hopefully reaching out to you. And I had a Google Meets with 4 of my kids and sixth graders, and They all, you all have your animals at home, and that's what I like to ask them. Hey, do you have any cats or dogs? Go get them. I want to see. I don't have cats. My little apartment, I'm not allowed to have them. So, and I'm, oh, hey, look, a little puppy. And my sixth grader Silas, he is that how you talk to all dogs? He just called me out, and I was like, yep, that's how I do it. I'm sorry, Silas. It just made me laugh. Um, all right, that's it for your show and tell. Don't forget, you can submit as many as you want. I'm going to delete those show and tells because I had students they were confused, like, hey, is this graded? Do I have to do this? No, you don't have to do it. It's just fun. I really like talking and seeing you all. We all miss human connection. That guy at Lunds misses human connections and wanted to pat me on the back just because I couldn't find my pancake mix. So just keep sharing those photos. I know I appreciate it, and I'm sure all of you appreciate it too, even though we can't raise our hand and say, yes, we do, but I know you do. So keep doing the show and tells. We all appreciate it. And you can upload pictures multiple times to the same assignment. So yes, there's only one link each week, but you could upload it for day one. I'll get your picture, and then upload it again for day two. I'll get it right from that same assignment. So just be aware of that. When in doubt, upload. All right, last bit, and then we'll read aloud vocabulary this week. And starting now for about 2.5 weeks, you're going to be working with new vocabulary words. Day two, your assignment today and tomorrow is to open up the document in Schoology labeled Day 2 Vocabulary work. And you need to look up the definitions. In the document is provided with you a form. You need to fill out the form and use the link for dictionary.com to look up the parts of speech and the definition. So parts of speech, is it a verb? Is it a noun? Is it an adverb? So find out what part of speech it is, and then find that definition and start studying. That's it. All right. Let's see what's happening with Mr. Zinkoff by Jerry Spinelli, Loser, Chapter 17. What the clock says. At Satterfield Elementary, you can't go any higher than fifth grade. So fifth graders rule the school. When other students look at you, most of what they see is bigger and better. You know more. You eat more. You draw better. You sing better. You throw farther and run faster. You go to the head of the line. You drink longest at the water fountains. You even talk louder and laugh harder. If you have made it through the first 4 grades, fifth grade is your reward, the payoff. And it comes in ways that aren't even visible. It comes as a feeling whenever you are in the presence of kids from the lower grades. A feeling, even though nobody says it, that you are the most important. Fifth grade is a great time to be alive. All of this greets Zinkoff when he returns to school, and he loves it. He loves being a fifth grader. Something else is there, too. It has been growing through the summer after taking root in the yellow dust of the playground. It has invaded the school building and multiplied abundantly. As Zinkoff's classmates return in September, many of them pick it up along with their new pencils and other school supplies. It is the word. It is Zinkoff's new name. It is not in the roll book. Rarely does anyone say his new name to his face, but it is often said behind a giggle or a cough. It comes from here, from there. Zinkoff sometimes senses someone being called, but the sound of it is not the sound of his name as he knows it, so he does not turn. And then one day, for no good reason, hearing the name, he does turn. Remember the name? But no one is looking at him, so he thinks he must be mistaken. And the voices continue, and again he turns, and again. But no one is ever looking. No one ever seems to have spoken. It is as if the voices are coming from the walls and the clocks and the lights in the ceiling. Loser. The discovery and renaming of Zinkoff is a great convenience to the student body. Zinkoff has been tagged and bagged, and now virtually everything he does can be dumped into the same sack. His sloppy handwriting and artwork, his hapless fluting, his mediocre grades, his clumsiness, his birthmark, everything is seen as an extension of his performance on field day. Everything is seen as a matter of losing. It is as if he loses 100 races every day. Oh man, this is tough. But except for the voices of the clocks, Zinkoff is unaware of all this. He is too busy thinking about himself to notice that others are thinking. He is busy growing up. He is busy growing out. By the start of fifth grade, Zinkoff has grown out of a whole flock of beliefs. Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, rabbit's feet, talking dinosaurs, the man in the moon, unicorns, gremlins, dragons, sidewalk cracks. Wait, dragons aren't real? Though he is still scared stiff of the dark in the cellar, he no longer believes in the furnace monster. Beliefs are just flying off him. Thus unweighted, he can feel himself growing taller. He no longer wears paper stars on his shirts, though he does continue to accept congratulations. He replaces his little kid giggle with a big kid laugh, which he works on in his bedroom, to the annoyance of Polly, who thinks she is always missing something funny. He no longer yells, Yahoo! But he still wants to be a mailman, and he still says his prayers at night. He admits to sleeping. He tries to outgrow being clumsy, but it doesn't work. His handwriting is still atrocious, but only to others, not to himself, so he doesn't worry about it. One Saturday, his mother has a yard sale. She asks him if he minds her selling some of his old toys, the ones Polly has no use for. No problem, he says. Then she brings out his old giraffe hat. What do you think he's going to say? Would he mind her selling this? He looks at it, faded, fuzz-worn, hasn't seen it in years. Whatever once possessed him to put that silly thing on his head? No problem, he says, and feels himself pop up another half-inch. He loves growing up, loves feeling himself take up more space in this world. He is allowed to go farther from home now. He has a bike, a second-hand yard sale two-wheeler with a junior rattle of its own that reminds him of his father's car, so he calls it Clinker One. He loves it. He's allowed to ride it almost anywhere in town, as long as he stays on the sidewalks and walks it across streets. Sometimes he obeys, sometimes not. His favorite place to go is the 900 block of Willow Street, where he delivered the mail on Take Zinkoff to Work Day when he was 7. The waiting man is still there, at the window, staring up the street, his hair longer about the ears, missing more on top. One thing Zinkoff has definitely not outgrown is thinking about the waiting man. Sometimes he parks his bike and walks up the street so the waiting man will be looking right at him. But even then, the waiting man doesn't seem to see him. Sometimes he stands under the window, hoping the waiting man will turn his head, at least that. But he never does. So fierce is the waiting man's concentration, so endless his patience, that Zinkoff half expects the missing in action brother to burst into existence one day right there on the sidewalk. Twice, in fact, he dreams that a soldier toting a rifle on his shoulder is walking toward him. The longer the soldier does not really appear, the worse Zinkoff feels for the brother in the window. Zinkoff has true empathy. He cannot believe the world will allow such waiting and wanting to go unrewarded. I really think this Zinkoff is a beautiful character. For several excited days, he has an idea. He will dress himself in camouflage pants and shirt, pull on some boots, and find an old rifle or BB gun somewhere and go walking up Willow Street, just to give the man a moment or two of happiness. But he soon realizes that would be cruel, and he ditches the whole idea. Sometimes as he pedals up the 900 block, the lady with the walker is there on her top step. Whenever she spots him, she calls, "Mailman, oh mailman!" After a while, he always makes sure he has a letter for her, a little note that says, "Hi, how are you?" or "I hope you are feeling well." He's older now, so his letters don't have to be nonsense. And now there is someone new, a little girl. Her brown hair is always gathered in a puppy tail with a yellow band. Apparently she has only recently learned to walk because she lurches when she takes a step and her little dumpling knees wobble. She can never get far, however, as she is attached to a leash. I think kids attached to leashes look funny. The leash is at a length of clothesline. One end is hooked to a harness which the little girl wears like a strap jacket. Sometimes the other end is tied around an ancient boot scrape. Sometimes it's in the hand of the little girl's mother, who in warm weather sits on the front steps reading a book. "I never saw a person with a leash on," Zinkoff says one day, curiosity drawing him and his bike to the curb. He's thinking how he would have hated a leash. The mother looks up from her book and gives him a fine smile. "I never did either," she says. "I lived on a farm and all my mother had to worry about was me being run over by a chicken." Zinkoff laughs. "Does she like it?" The mother looks at her daughter. "I don't think she likes or dislikes it. Yet, anyway, as far as she's concerned, this is just the way life is. As far as first you crawl, then you get a leash. If she starts to complain, I guess we'll have a chat." "She talks?" says Zinkoff. The mother laughs. "About 3 words. That's why I win all the arguments. So far." Whenever they are out front, Zinkoff stops his bike to say hello. He finds out that the little girl's name is Claudia. After a while, Claudia begins to recognize him. She totters out to meet him at the curb, the leash's limit. She seems to be a giving person. She always reaches out into the gutter and picks up something, a pebble, discarded chewing gum, and holds it out to him. It's always dirty. Her mother always scolds her, and Zinkoff, not wanting to be ungrateful, always says a formal "thank you" to Claudia and pockets the gift. On days when he doesn't cruise 900 Willow, he often finds a half tank hill. He often rides to Half Tank Hill. Half Tank Hill is in the park, and the best of it is a grassy, evilly steep slope that commands "Come down me." And they do. Kids from all over town, in all seasons of the year, they sled down, they run down, roll down, tumble down, bicycle down, tricycle down, rollerblade down, skateboard down, trash can lid down. Early in his life, when Zinkoff raced cars along the sidewalk, he had believed himself to be the fastest kid in the world. Now that he knows this to be untrue, Half Tank Hill has become all the more appealing to him. Sometimes he runs because it is the only way he can experience, for just a moment, a particularly fascinating feeling. Halfway down the hill, he could feel himself losing control. His legs cannot keep up with his speed. He feels as if he is coming apart, running out of himself, leaving himself behind. Sometimes he bikes it. He aims the front tire over the grassy crest and down he goes. And for those few seconds, nothing can convince him that he is not the fastest thing in the universe. And even though he's too big now to yell "Yahoo!" he yells it anyway, "Yahoo!" and rediscovers every time that no one is slow on Half Tank Hill. And there are no clocks. Remember what those clocks tell him? Sometimes he doesn't want to ride anywhere in particular. Sometimes he doesn't want to ride fast. He just wants to ride. That's when he aims Clinker 1 for the alleys, where cats and little kids roam, but no cars, a bicycle's boulevard. And he rides, just rides, and it's good enough. And Zinkoff's life in fifth grade, and so Zinkoff's life in fifth grade is filled with things new and interesting and good enough. And until the day of the test that is not a test, it never occurs to him that something has been missing. Huh. Wonder what test that is not a test. Never occurs to him that something has been missing. Wonder what that missing thing is in that test. Man, it really got me thinking about this waiting man. Hmm. Oh, here, I heard somebody at the door. I'll be right back. See if I have a guest here today. Whoops, gotta grab my keys before I go. All right, I'll be right back, kiddos. See if I've got a guest. Hey, kids! Courage the Cougar here! Don't tell Mr. Ermer. Huh, that's strange. Another darn ding-dong ditcher. All right, don't forget, read those weekly plans. Mr. McDonald, make sure you're watching that entire video. No getting away with this anymore. Stay healthy, keep active. Call in for those mystery boxes. Great job to those who did. Happy birthday, Noah B. I'm sorry I forgot who else's birthday was today. Favorite sayings. Chin up, Buttercup. Don't let the world change your smile. Let your smile change the world. Great job, Grayson, Kelsey. Keep eating those pancakes. Send those show and tell pictures. Get on some adventures. And we'll give another. Oh, huh. That's not good. All right. Have a good one. See ya.